Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, September 14th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just new to technical analysis and the tool of charts, and you're interested in learning more about how they can be used to build consistency as a trader, make good decisions, then this will be a video for you. And then real quick before I get started, just keep in the back of your mind that as I go through the video, if you're liking what you see, if you want to learn more and take your understanding to another level, then I am offering a free live class this upcoming Thursday. So if you're interested in getting signed up, and I just want to personally invite you to get signed up, then if you're watching on YouTube, in the description box, there's a link you can click on. Or if you're watching at claytrader.com, then there's an area right on the webpage that you're on that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, just keep that in the back of your mind. And if you like what you see, then I want to personally invite you to get signed up for the class. First one here, ticker symbol ATER, and I've been doing this one for quite a while in the past top 10s, but as long as this uptrend continues, I'll probably here to keep things updated because, I mean, what a monster move, and pretty crazy to think that I first started covering this one back when it was, I don't know, $5 or so, and now after today, thing has gone up over $18. But moral of the story, the uptrend continues, therefore updates are needing to be made, and I'm going to go ahead and just delete these lines out. They have served their purpose for now. And from a presentation standpoint, I don't want to risk causing confusion because there's lines and clutter everywhere. So let's try to keep this as clean as possible. But one of the newest updates is just going to be this level, of support. Let me change this around real quick. And that'll be down here right at basically the consolidation area of this pattern at $15.65. Now, don't get me wrong, if the price falls below $15.65, that doesn't mean the entire chart is epically destroyed or anything like that. But I mean, if the price can actually stay above there, that would be a very impressive sign of power. And then for more so the overarching standpoint, key level of support to watch is going to be that purple line right there, the 50-period simple moving average. So continue to watch that from a more so an overarching standpoint. But yeah, in terms of what would make the chart look the absolute best, definitely if the price can stay above that area right there. And then as far as the area of resistance is concerned, that will be right here, this resistance trend line, and that's also what's providing the current pattern here. So let me just make this all one color. So there's the resistance, there's the support. Then if I draw the pull portion down like that, for you visual people, put the golf hole down there, this would be known as the bull pennant pattern. And the reason why it's a bull pennant is because it's occurring in a very much so overall uptrend. So moral of the story here, the uptrend continues. The week is young, still 4 days left. So let's see how this trend continues. Next one here, ticker symbol LIFE, and absolutely monster move today. You look down here at the volume, and volume just came to life, and then of course the price actually interacted very nicely. Although, and this will come across as like a complaint, and I guess it is a complaint in some senses, but overall, but the breakout did occur during the last part of the day, right there of $8.50, and the market still has a few more minutes to be open. So yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. That candle is still moving. But my point here is that the breakout has now happened. So if you're kind of waiting for that breakout, maybe just thinking that it would, maybe ideally happen Tuesday morning. Yeah, it's happened. It's breaking out right before our very eyes. Now, that doesn't destroy anything. And of course, if you've already been in, then you're certainly not complaining about that breakout. I'm just saying, from a presentation standpoint where I sit, it would have been much easier to map out the 850 mark and say, hey, let's just see if that can break. But yeah, it has already broken above there. But nonetheless, that's just what's going to make this now the near-term level of support. And that's just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, they tend to act as support. So if you're somebody now that wants to, I don't want to chase the price, let's wait for some sort of pullback. 850 gives you one possible potential in the the pullback area. Or if you want it to be a little bit more kind of conservative and looking for a pullback, then $7.70 would be another area to consider. But all in all, the breakout has started, and not just a question of how much further is this breakout going to go. We'll have to wait to see. But overall, no complaints. I sit here and complain tongue-in-cheek just because it was a good setup, but the setup couldn't quite wait. The breakout has now occurred, but it's just a matter of, hey, let's see how far this momentum can take it. Next one here, ticker symbol AMC, and all in all, just a fine day. Although I do have kind of more of a curiosity thing than anything that I'm going to kind of just keep an eye on. So in order to map this out, let me first change this trend line to look like that, and then let's get another trend line in here to look like that. And this is what would be known as a rising wedge pattern, which is actually a bearish pattern. I get it. You would think a rising wedge would be considered bullish, but it's not. A falling wedge would actually be considered bullish. But pointer being is we have a falling wedge, which is a bearish pattern. Now, when I say bearish, that doesn't mean that, okay, so therefore this whole thing is about to collapse. Not at all. What I'm just wondering is, okay, the price is sitting right down here at the bottom of this rising wedge pattern. So if the price falls below it, is that going to create more of a pullback? And remember, there's a big difference between a pullback and a crash. So I'm not saying a crash. I'm not saying a reversal. All I'm saying is, hey, maybe there's a bit of a pullback here that's coming, which maybe takes it down to right around that purple line there, or this previous breakout point, which I'll extend over at $49. But to be fair, maybe AMC is like, no. There will be no pullbacks. There will be nothing. We're going to actually bounce off this trend line, get up to that resistance trend line, and just keep on breaking out. That's always a possibility too. But because the price is actually sitting down here at the lower part of that pattern, that's where the question moving forward comes into play is, maybe there's going to be some sort of bigger pullback here. But again, big difference between a pullback and a reversal or crash. I'm not saying any of those at all. Now, if the price all of a sudden comes down to 49 and then blasts down through there, okay, at that point, maybe we can start to have a different conversation. But very clearly, as of right now, the price isn't anywhere close to potentially doing that. So that's kind of going to be the main dynamic, in my opinion, at least moving forward, is, okay, we got the rising wedge pattern. So is this going to produce a bigger type pullback? We'll have to see what happens over the next couple of days. Next one here, ticker symbol CEI. And overall, the chart is doing just fine. Now, I do realize there's a little perspective that goes into this. If you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought up there, or you bought right there, and you wanted to buy and sell within 10 minutes. Okay, from that angle, maybe things are looking a little bit shaky, but assuming you care about the big picture of things, the chart looks absolutely fine. Pulled back today, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watch previous top 10 videos. But if you did, hopefully you remember me talking about that area of support right there. And when you know at the power of charts, price found some support there, price found some support right there. So even from that standpoint, the chart has done nothing wrong. It's pulled back, and that's part of the game. Unfortunately, no price can just go straight up every single day. So it's pulled back, but it found some support right at that green line, which is helpful because assuming the price stays above that green line like it's been doing, well, that would imply that there's a set of lows there. Then you have a set of lows right there. Then you have a set of lows there, and you have one down there. And if you envision each one of those as stair steps, what do you have? Well, from the big picture, you would very clearly still have stair steps progress in the upwards direction. So again, sure, it pulled back today, but not the end of the world because as you just saw, the overall trend still has plenty of opportunity to chip away and build that higher base. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, what I'm going to actually do is take this trend line and tilt it downwards now, because to me it seems like that's more so the more accurate area of resistance. So if the price can get up to that trend line and get a good high volume break of it, I mean, no guarantees, but at that point, in my opinion at least, it's plausible to think that the price could at least get up to $1.60, if not even break above there. But overall, like I said, assuming you care about the bigger picture of things, even with the pullback today, the overall chart still in a very clear uptrend. Next one, ticker symbol OCGN, and what a huge explosion today. Great volume and got the big movement up, and now the price has been consolidating, which is just fine because that's actually forming a very nice, a very solid technical pattern here. So let's just get this pattern into play here, and the first part of the pattern is going to be the resistance portion of it right there, as you can see denoted by that red line there. And then as far as the support is concerned, going to go ahead and put this trend line in place right there, where you can see actually a couple of times the price has bounced right off that level. But I also want to change that to be green to represent more so the bullish dynamic of the pattern, given that's the level of support. And then to make this just a little bit more visually appealing, let's make this all one color. So again, resistance there, support there, and then this would be known as the pull portion, which just shows the breakout point, and this would be known as a bull flag pattern. So that's really the easiest way to go about it. OCGN here on the 30-minute time frame has, and I should note that all these other stocks that I've already talked about been using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks represents 30 minutes worth of time. But on this one here, OCGN, 30-minute time frame, bull flag pattern headed into Tuesday. But overall, big movement, got the bullish pattern. Not just a question of can the bulls build more momentum, work the way back up to the top of the pattern, and get the breakout. We'll see what happens. Next one here, down in the world of penny stocks, ticker symbol PHIL, and just a big wake up. Now, I've done this one before, but it kind of dropped off the radar a little bit, but it's certainly back on people's radars. And, what gives me the right to say that? Well, just look at all that volume that occurred today. Huge volume, and as we just talked about in the previous stock, a very nice pattern here has formed. So let's just hop in and get this pattern drawn up. So once again, there is the resistance part of the pattern, and then from the support side of things, have this area down here at the penny mark. Let me change that again to green to represent more so the bullish attribute of it. And then to make this the more visual, we'll make it all one color. So again, we have resistance right there. We have support right there. And then we have the breakout part. So let's get the golf hole down there, and we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So on this one, bull pennant pattern. Now, yes, it has pulled back quite a bit. So there is that, matter of perspective. Meaning, if you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought there, or you bought right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well, then yeah, from that angle, things are looking pretty shaky. However, assuming you're taking a step back, looking at things from the bigger picture point of view, then yeah, everything's perfectly fine. You have the nice bullish pattern. Now, it's got to remain bullish, right? So if the price just crashes down through there, then all of a sudden we start to have a different conversation. But as things stand right now, you do have the bull pennant in place. So it's just a question of, will the price be able to recover back upwards and get the breakout through that trend line and then continue with the uptrend? That's what the next few days will reveal. Next one, ticker symbol DNN. Very nice movement here. And overall, yeah, it's pulled back, but kind of repeating myself, but sometimes that's just how it goes, is you have a bunch of stocks in the same exact day, all basically form the, similar patterns. And we have that pattern here. So you should be very good at drawing these by the time this video is done. But we have the resistance trend line right there. We have the support portion of it right there at $1.60. So once again, get that change to green to represent more so the bullish dynamic of things. And then we have the breakout point, or what is better known as the pull portion. So again, resistance, support, breakout portion, golf hole down there. Say it with me. We have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. And the reason why it's a bull pennant is it is occurring all in an overall uptrend. And the easiest way to see that uptrend is that purple line there. The 50-period moving average has a nice upward slope to it. So like the other stocks here, just another question of, okay, is the pattern ultimately going to get continuation? Now, definitely looking a little shaky here headed into the close as the price was pulling back. But again, that's a very narrow range. When you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, yeah, it is still in a bull pennant, but we'll see if the price can, consolidate out and then make a move back up to that area and get the break up through there. But overall, like I said, the simplistic way to look at it is a 30-minute time frame bull pennant pattern. Next one, ticker symbol LPTX. And I really like this one because there is just such a level here that stands out like a sore thumb. So when I talk about this area, by no means am I trying to come across like this is a great discovery on my part or that I have some sort of special skill. The exact opposite. I assure you, people that use charts, understand charts, are going to be watching this level. And I say that because when a lot of people around the world are watching the same level, wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can definitely produce some very dynamic movements. So the level here that everybody and their brother's uncle is going to be watching is $1.90. I mean, you can see several times the price has gotten up around that area and has just never pushed through it. So does that mean that if the price can get up there and break through $1.90, that the price is guaranteed to explode upwards? Absolutely not. No such thing as a guarantee. My point here is it at least a valid, is that at least a rational thought process to have that if the price can get up to $1.90 and break it, that could create quite a bit additional buying pressure? Yeah, that's absolutely a valid thought process to have, right? That would be known as a breakout. Again, just because something breaks out doesn't mean that it's going to keep on moving, but it's at least a valid. By no means is $1.90 some sort of random spot on the chart. And right, as traders, that's what we're trying to avoid. Because if we're doing random things as traders, that just means we're gambling. But that's why I love charts. That's why they're a very valuable tool. They allow us to help us avoid making random decisions and helping, making good, solid, logical decisions. Again, just because it's a logical decision, just because it's rational, doesn't mean that it's going to for sure work out. But over time, yeah, you don't want to be operating in random manners and gambling. You want to be making thought out, decisions, and $1.90 is certainly well thought out. So keep a very close eye on that. That's really what this is all revolving around moving forward here on LPTX. So let's see if the price can eventually get that break or not. Next one here, ticker symbol HRAA, penny stock here. But I mean, what a move. I mean, good, solid, very respectable volume. And I mean, all kidding aside, the price basically went straight up the entire day long. So now it's just a question of, can this pull or can this, move continue? Now, as far as pullbacks, which would probably be more so the wise thing to wait for, or at least keep an eye on, because you don't want to go chase the price. You don't want to, suffer from FOMO, fear of missing out. But as far as, pullback areas and where that can make a little bit more sense, right there at 35 cents is an interesting, potential opportunity. If 35 cents, maybe saying, I'd like a little bit, be more conservative, then right down there around the 30-cent mark makes a little bit more sense there. So keep an eye on that. But overall, I've never heard of this one. And, there were people talking about it, but not a whole lot of people talking about it. So it's one of those where it's like, is this going to be one of these penny stocks like CEI that is down below $1 and then, several days later, it's well up above $1? I have no idea. Maybe this is the top. Maybe this is a one-day, couple-day wonder and everything's about to collapse. But, I'd also hate to see this one be a situation where it's like, Clay, I remember you saw this thing at 45 cents and you never put it in your top 10. So at this point, I'll put it in the top 10. We'll see what happens with it moving forward. But yeah, just going and buying up here, maybe a little sketchy because, again, you don't want to suffer from FOMO, fear of missing out. But yeah, let's just see how this thing behaves over the next couple of days. Next one here, ticker symbol FAMI, another penny stock, but what a train wreck of a day. Did this analysis on Friday, top 10, and at that point, was talking about nice move up, all the consolidation. But today, yeah, obviously the drama showed up. Massive gap down. So ugly looking chart, but this is where sometimes opportunity can await, is when things are looking super, super ugly. And yeah, this one you can't really get any uglier than this to have this big gap down. But what's interesting here is that the price during the latter part of the day did finally start to go sideways. Now, don't get me wrong, and let me make this very clear. And I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because the price got hammered down and then just because the price finally started to go sideways does not mean that for sure guaranteed this is the bottom and that a bounce is coming. Now, is it at least valid? Is it at least a rational thought to have? It absolutely is. And I've already talked about that, so I'm not going to, go through that talking point again. And that's our job, though. We want to do not random things. So is it guaranteed that the bounce is coming? Of course not. But it does make sense to at least start to think, all right, maybe, just maybe, because this is where the bleeding finally stopped. But right down here around 26 cents, some sort of potential bottom. Now, if it's not and the price crashes downwards, that's why risk management is so important. But if this is some sort of bottom here and the price, and I'm not even saying goes back up to 60 cents, but even if it goes up half that amount, I mean, you could be looking at a very potential nice trade here. And another kind of, helpful indicator in terms of, I don't know, is there really strength starting to show back up again, is if the price can get up to 29 cents and then push up through there. But again, this thing is, no doubt about it, a massively ugly chart. But I like massively ugly charts because that means that there could be one of these capitulation moments where all of a sudden the price just kind of snaps back upwards. Even if it's just a dead cat bounce, from a trading perspective, there can still be opportunity within those moments. So that wraps up the top 10. And again, want to just personally invite you, if you like what you saw, you want to learn more about how to use technical analysis and the tool of charts to build consistency, that I am offering the class, like I said, this upcoming Thursday, September 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Always remember the Eastern time. So definitely get signed up for it. And I'd love to, share more with you about charts and how they work as a tool to build that consistency. And as far as this top 10 video is concerned, just a quick request from me. If you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to make these videos, then please communicate it to me that it's worth the time and effort. And you can do that by doing two very easy things. Hit the like button. Leave a basic comment. It could be the number one. It could be a smiley face emoji. Or you can just tell me a ticker symbol that maybe you're watching tomorrow. But any of those things, hitting the like button, leaving a basic comment, goes a long way in communicating to me that it's worth the time and effort to do these. And as long as I know that it's worth the time and effort that I put into these, then I have no problem continuing to do them, as long as I know that people are enjoying and finding them helpful. And again, if you like what you saw, you want to take their understanding of technical analysis charts, why they work, how they should be used, how they should not be used, then I'll be talking about all that and a lot more on the free live class here this Thursday. So definitely get signed up for it. I hope you all had a good start to the new week, and I'll see you back on Tuesday.